All right, Shalom, Akim out there, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Shai, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the sincere elect, all the laborers that's out there, pushing out this word, trying to get Yahweh Shai to come back sooner, and to you sincere Agwafium that's listening and learning, okay? All right, and this your brother Samak, coming with another lesson. I'm going into, I'm going to go into the growth that, we have in this truth and that we continue to have, And this video was inspired by my own personal growth and another brother growth, brother McQuai, because we've just been talking lately. We recently talked about it, and it influenced me to make a video, just basically going into my own personal growth, and just letting the younger brothers and even the brothers, that's been in this thing already for some time, that they can attest to that. You go through stages in this truth, just like when you're a kid, And I'm gonna just start right into it. Matthew 18 and verse 3. It says, in fact, I'm gonna start at the top. It says, and at the same time came the disciples unto Yahweh Shai, saying, who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? And Yahweh Shai called a little child unto him and set him in the midst of them. It says, and said, verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as a little child, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. It says, whosoever therefore shall humble himself as a little child, the same is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. And that's what Yahweh Shai, the point he was trying to make. That's why he brought the little kid, because at the end of the day, a little kid is innocent, man. For the most part, a little kid is innocent in their works because they only really know, what they've been taught. They're not indoctrinated. Well, I guess you can say indoctrinated in some sense, but, they're at the age where they do what they know, as opposed to when you're an adult. As an adult, you've learned everything you learned as a child, and now you're an adult and you're old enough to make your own decisions. That's why you have some people who were raised in churches that decide to fall out the churches and pursue Islam, or you have women who grew up, Catholic church, believed in celibacy, no sex before marriage and all that, but then became whores, porn stars, just a number of examples that can be used. But what you know as a child is only what you know, because you don't know anything. Your mind is innocent. Your mind and brain is not developed enough to make certain decisions and beliefs on its own. That's why I don't believe that a child can just decide that they're gay or they're a man or a woman. That shit is just complete weird to me. It's really weird. But anyway, yeah, the point is, man, you got to be converted as a little child. Basically, you need to forget everything that you've learned in the world, and relearn everything, spiritually, because you're not really going to unlearn everything, but you take with the bad that you've learned in the world, and you throw it out. You kill that with that old man. When you crucify that old man, which is part of being as a little child, you have to kill and crucify that old man spiritually, and then becoming a babe again and relearn everything. So that's what happened when we came into this truth. We all had to forget all we thought we knew about God and about the Bible, and we had to relearn everything. Like a child. Like, what does this mean? What is this? What's that? And personally, I've gone through stages where, everybody's journey is true from when they first came in to 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5, 10 years, later. I'm gonna keep it in the beginning years, just because the beginning years is really what sets the stage for your next 5 to 10 years in the truth. But with the first 1 to 3 years is really where you learn the most crucial information, and that's basically building your foundation is truth. Because if you build upon a weak foundation, then the more you grow in the truth, you're going to end up bugging out, man. You're going to end up falling into some type of doctrine that you're susceptible to it because you didn't have a strong foundation. That wind could come and knock you out, man. Satan could come with some type of doctrine or whatever that just causes you to err, influences you. But When I first came in personally, it was more or less like what I like to call cheerleader Israelites. I used to see people out on the highways and watch the videos like, yo, these bulls going at it. Yo, that's crazy. I came in watching Hebrew Israelites versus Jews or versus Muslims. Like I came in watching shit like that, but I don't know what camp it was, man. Back then I didn't know nothing about camps. Like I didn't know anything about camps. But that was within probably the first 6 months, and then my first year waking up to the truth was more or less just really just me knowing I'm an Israelite, but I didn't really have much knowledge on the scriptures yet. I didn't have too much knowledge on the history, but I got enough to know and believe that I was an Israelite. And then fast forward another 6 months to when I started to get involved and learn about camps. IUIC, I started seeing different things on Instagram. People talking about Great Millstone, GMS. I didn't really know what it meant, but I just knew that these were different camps. I thought every Israelite camp was really teaching the same thing. So I'm watching, different camps, just pretty much watching the simple shit. When I first came in, I was on the Friday to Saturday Sabbath. I believed in a lot of different things. I believed a lot of different things, man. But the Most High had the mercy on me to point me in the right direction. Me and the brother Kamal one day was just talking like, yo, bro, we got to get out here and do the work. And at this point, we've already knew that Great Millstone had a power doctrine, what we call, what I'm saying, a power doctrine, meaning like what they spoke was raw, it was true, it wasn't sugar coated, it was the undeniable raw truth. And that's one thing I saw in Great Millstone, whereas I didn't see in other camps. And as I started growing and learning more, watching the elders' videos, watching other brothers' videos, actually going out on the highways and camping with other brothers and being on the line or even on the other side of the line for the first month to 2 months before we got brought into the camp. I learned a lot. I started learning the difference in the doctrines, and now these are different things. But this is pretty much the truth, the growth a part of the truth part of growth. Then you have the character part of growth, which the character part of growth is when you start seeing things for what they are. You start developing integrity. You start growing a backbone. You start growing the nature just of when you go more into like the law, statute, commandments, because we know that in Psalms 19:7 and 8, it talks about how the law and the statutes are perfect in converting the soul and, basically making a man or making a woman out of you. But I'm gonna jump to another precept. I'm not going to make this too long. Just a quick video. Just to touch on a point, bring out a couple precepts. 1 Peter 2, and I start at 1 and read down a couple. Wherefore, laying aside all malice and guile and hypocrisies and envies and all evil speakings, because, hey, that's what we had to do when we first came into the truth. All those hypocrisies and being hypocrites, speaking something and not living it. That's one thing that you can't have in this truth. You have to live and practice what you preach in this truth. Envy and looking at what another man has or another woman has and wanting that and desiring that, in your heart you really envying them. In the scriptures say envy not. And now as in the truth, I see men who have worldly in possessions that you really got to be worldly to have, for the most part. And I don't envy them. I look at these rich guys, they ain't nothing, man, because I know what we gonna have in the kingdom. And plus the scriptures say, envy not a sinner, because you don't know what their end is like. You envy them what they have, but that what they have is going to end up in their destruction. It says, as newborn babes, right? Because you got to be born again or be converted again as a little child, as Yahushua said. It says, desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. Exactly. So through this milk, the sincere milk of the word. Now, what is the milk? The milk is the simple beginners. I'm not really going to say beginners, but the simple necessities to your growth in this truth. Because when a child is born, what is very crucial and necessary to their health and development is what the milk of their mother, that breast milk. That's why any woman who doesn't breastfeed their child, that wants to just pump their baby full of formula and it's fake ass condensed milk, whatever the bullshit they be feeding these children. That's why a lot of these kids grow up with problems, man. Because they don't have the necessary, and they get sick too because they don't have the necessary minerals and things that they need, minerals, vitamins, amino acids, things of that nature that's essential to their growth, because they're lacking it. You know, because a woman's breast milk to a baby is like universal solvent. Because once that baby starts sucking on a breast, the woman's body works intangible with the baby to recognize when the baby is sick or if it's lacking this, and then milk will produce it. That's the beautifulness of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, man. That's the beautiful of the design. And you look at that, and you look at the same thing on this side. This milk is the necessities that we need to live a righteous life, man. To really show the Most High that we're serious about this thing, that we really are remorseful for our sins and of our past lives and of this current life that we had before waking up to this truth, because this truth teaches you, multiple things, man, that help you in the world, because we have to live in the world. We're not just spiritual beings. We don't just live in the spirit world. We live in the physical world. So it's only right that we have to have characteristics and traits that work well with the world. You want to know how the herbs work with the body. You want to know how the sun and the moon and the earth and all these different things work with each other. So you want to know how to be a good father, how to be a brother, how to be a friend, how to be a husband. And on the other on a vice versa side for a woman, how to be a mother, how to be a sister, how to be a friend, how to be a wife. These things are important to your character as a person and your growth in His truth, and ultimately to show your righteousness to the Heavenly Father, so that He's always delighting in you, man. But we're going to get that back in the kingdom, man. But right now, in the kingdom of heaven is starting within us. You want to sow to the Spirit, and I'm gonna get this precept, Galatians 6:7. It says, "Be not deceived, Yahweh is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap." So whatever you sow to is what you're going to reap of, and it's going to go down. It says, "For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption, but he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap everlasting." So prior to waking up to this truth, we've only known to sow to the flesh. We've only known fleshly things. Got to get money, got to get bitches, got to get cars, clothes, jewelry, got to be famous, got to get likes, views, this, that, and the third. That's all we knew. We only knew carnal, temporary things, man, that hold no value. But coming to this truth, now we seek to sow to the Spirit. Now, in anything we do it unto the Lord, man. So when we exercise and we eat clean, it's because we know that the Most High said we should honor our temple. We're not doing it because, I gotta look good. I gotta be famous and show that I'm a vegan or I'm eating clean so that people can respect me. No, we work, exercise, and eat clean to keep our bodies right, because we in our temples right, because we know the Most High said, we are the Most High's temple. The Most High Spirit dwells within the body. So we got to take care of our temples, because our bodies are a reflection of our spirit. If your body is weak and feeble, most likely your spirit is, man. If you're fat, overweight, diabetic, because you probably eat like shit, so therefore your spirit's gonna be like shit. If you don't shower or bathe and groom yourself and take care of your hygiene, then 9 times out of 10, really you got a trifling spirit, man. You have a dirty spirit. So your flesh or your body is a reflection of your spirit, man. You can tell when somebody has a vain spirit. You can tell when somebody has a prideful spirit, just based off of how they carry themselves, how their flesh is, man. And then I'm gonna get this last precept. What's it? Where it says, And a big part of this truth is eating the whole roll, man. You know. Let's see. I think it was in like Jeremiah. Let me see. No, I'm gonna use a different app. I can't find it right now, but it's all good. But basically, man, you want to eat the whole roll because part of eating the whole roll is accepting the bitter and the sweet of the scriptures and of the truth, man. You know, first coming to the truth, like I said, I wasn't really feeling the whole. It's funny because when I first came to the truth, I used to see certain clips. I didn't know it was Great Millstone at the time, but I seen some brothers that was just I used to call them militant. Like these brothers so militant, right? They so aggressive with the people, whereas this candidate was soft spoken and polite, politically correct. You know, as a babe, I didn't know any better. You know, but then as I came to the truth and I started to eat the whole roll, I started to open my eye. The Most High started to open my eyes to how things are done in the spirit of a true man of the Lord, you know, because oppression make of a wise man mad, you know, and it's aggression because we men, you know, at the end of the day, we're men, but the brothers are not violent, you know, and they're not flat out disrespectful. So I didn't see that at the time. And also I used to be like, oh, I don't need to have slaves in the kingdom of heaven. And then as you grow, you know, your mindset changes. We understand it's a righteous thing now to recompense trouble, to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you, man. You know, so it's all about growth in this truth. So, brothers, reflect back on your growth in this truth to really show appreciation to the Most High for where you are today and to be able to help the younger brothers and other brothers around you. You know, call Lawyer How about Shemi Abishai. Till next time, Shalom.